going live. All right. You are looking live at Sold Out MetLife Stadium, where today the 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Washington Commanders. And why are the Washington Commanders 0-16? Because they suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all is going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching a replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free, fire away, throw it in the chat box. Usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. Also, instead of me just rambling on for like half an hour or so, whatever, right? It's good just to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free, fire away. What's up, Jersey guy? Jersey guy's in the house. There you go. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second membership level I got is called the Lawrence Taylor, and the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one has their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, I greatly appreciate it, and I thank you in advance. If you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get. Oh, here's my dog. Randy's in the house. Here we go. Here, as soon as he hears me start talking, he's got to come out here and check things out. So if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. If not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. That way, next time I go live or put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. And finally, also in the description box below, there's 2 Facebook links. The top Facebook link takes you to my Facebook group, and I'll say this all the videos. Basically, my YouTube channel, Facebook group, and my Facebook page. It's all called the same thing. It's all called the New York Giants, the Gridiron, right? So that's why I just dumb it down for a moron like me. I'm like, what's my channel called? Is the page called something different? The group, what's it? It's all called the same thing. It makes it so nice and easy for me, right? So New York Giants, the Gridiron. And we have over 4,600 members in the group. It's doing very, very well. Usually after I get done going live here, I'll spend probably up to the next couple of hours putting stuff in the group and in the page, which I'll go over in just a minute. As I said, I try to get at least 10 different things in there every day. But with training camp here and the season coming up and everything, it's so easy. I'm getting probably 15 to 20 things in each group, a group and in the page every day. I mean, whether it's a picture, a post, sharing an article, putting in a video, just something showing some stats on a ball player. Something making fun of the Eagles or the Cowboys, which are my personal favorites, right? There's a ton of stuff going into the group every day. And if you become a member, not only do I put stuff in here, but the members post stuff in the group as well, too. So, it's 7 days a week, darn near almost 365, right? If I have internet access, I'm getting stuff put in there all the time, right? And then the second Facebook link takes you to, the bottom Facebook link takes you to my Facebook page. I'm the administrator in here, but it's a page, so I'm the only one that posts anything, okay? But what do we got? We have over 2,800 likes, and we just hit a few hours ago 8,000 followers. The page is doing simply marvelous. But it's the same thing. Once I get done going live, I put some stuff in the group. I put some stuff in the page. Right? As I said, I try to get at least 10 things. But now that the season's on, it's amazing. So many people. I'm associated with so many good Giant groups out there. There's so many people just taking pictures and videos and stuff of all the players and everything. It's so easy. You get a ton of stuff put in here every day. I said, whether it's, I'm sharing just a picture from somebody took from training camp, some people taking videos, right? So I'm sharing something has some stats on a ball player. I'm sharing an article, once again, something making fun of the Eagles or the Cowboys, once again, which are my personal favorites, right? There's a ton of stuff going in there every day, and I don't commingle them. So basically, for the most part, all the stuff I put in the page, I don't put that in the group. Whatever I put in the group, I don't put in the page. So I mean, so it's like 7 days a week, almost 365. There's a ton of Giants information every day in both of them. And like I said, if you go to the to the group and you like the page and you like it and you follow it and you go to the group and become a member, I said 7 days a week, almost 365. I mean, there might be a couple days throughout the whole year I'm not putting stuff in there, but I mean, for the most part, if I'm alive and I got internet access, there's stuff going in there every day. There's a ton of stuff every day. But, like I said, you can't always please everybody. So I got this, I got my warranty, right? So if you go to the page and you like it and you follow it and you go to the group and become a member, if you're not 100% satisfied, you get your money back guaranteed. I don't know what stuff said and done and out of the way with. Well, day 9's in the book here. Andy, what's up, buddy? Yeah, he's down there. Oh, we got 2 cats too. We got 2 cats, yeah. Yeah, so we got they get along pretty well. But so we got 2 cats and we got a dog. We used to have 6 cats. My daughter moved out and she took 4 of the cats with us. So we used to have 6 cats and a dog. That used to be a lot of fun. So now we're down to 2 cats and 1 dog. So we'll always be animal people here. So when unfortunately when these animals go to the Rainbow Bridge, we'll probably get other animals in as well too. So yeah. We just keep recycling. We keep getting more. That keeps me young and everything. Plus, with Randy every night, we go out for a walk too. So because he needs exercise, I need exercise. So we get ourselves some exercise too. So, but I mean, it's just not a good day without my buddy here, Randy. But it's funny every time. As soon as I start talking, as soon as I start going live, he's usually I'm in the dining room. I got to get like a better setup here or something like that instead of having the china cabinet behind me. Maybe like a green screen with that I don't know, something with the Giants behind me or whatever. That'll be coming someday. But he's in the living room, but which is the next room over. But as soon as he hears me talking, he gets up and he just. So I got a chair next to me. These chairs are heavy. There's heavy stuff here. So if I don't move that, I got to move it. While I'm talking. So usually I try to move it before I start talking because then he wants to sneak in here. So now right now he's laying at my feet. So when I got my feet and they're all bent underneath me. So after about 10, 15 minutes of that, they start getting uncomfortable. Then I want to stretch my legs out, but then he's like laying right underneath me. So I try to do it. Without like me bending back, and looking under the table to see where he's at. I want to just try to keep talking, so I got to try to like pick my leg up and try to feel where he's at so I can maneuver my legs so I can stretch him without like kicking him or anything like that. So he keeps me on my toes. So, but with day 9, so we're off tomorrow, right? But with day 9 was in the book. Now I think was it Patty? Was it Patty Trainer? So some people were obviously putting. I seen a couple things. Nope. Is this it here? Here we go. Yep, Patty Trainer. Yeah, she got some stuff in there. Yeah, because usually when they go the practice, obviously there's like a little delay, right? In by the time the practice is there, but then these people they got to put all this stuff on the internet and everything. So it's kind of it's like a little time delay, right? So I was kind of hoping, obviously, when I came home, is that before I wind up going live at 10:30, somebody wind up putting something out, kind of like what happened on in practice. Now, of course, and that's the one thing I wound up finding out about with Ryder Anderson, that he'll wind up missing probably it looks like I heard like a couple of weeks. I got this article here from CBS says most of camp. Anderson with his triceps is expected to be out a few weeks. I heard a couple weeks, few weeks now, according to head coach Brian Daboll. Pat Leonard of the New York Daily News reports. Barring any setbacks, Anderson could be ready for week 1. He appeared in 7 games last year. I mean, for the most part, he appeared in 7 games. He did have a couple sacks. So part-time duty, that wasn't too bad. So I mean, if you figure if he gets in there, if he can get in there every game this year, you expect a few more sacks from him, especially now that he's bulked up. So I mean, obviously you're pulling for everybody, but I was really, with the relative, what, his inexperience from last season, with the time that he had in there, it wasn't too bad. I said he did wind up with a couple sacks. He was a little on the light side. He bulked up. It's probably not, it can't be. I mean, unless he's taking some type of steroids or something or whatever, it's not 25 pounds of solid muscle, but he put on probably about 25 pounds. Obviously, some of it was muscle, but, so be interesting to see what he does this year. But I mean, once the thing again, hopefully it's just a couple weeks, because if it's anything real bad, they might have might have to let him go. I don't know if they'd want to put him on the pup or exactly what, but hopefully he'll get back before the beginning of the season, which would be good for him. But yeah, so he was, but I mean, injured, which is kind of obviously is a bummer, but, nothing long-term, not where he's out like all season long or anything like, or extended period of time. So obviously injuries are going to happen, but, it is what it is. Then they had their final training camp practice, which was open to the public. So this is the last one. Right. And of course it was padded. Right. So she's got obviously Evan Neal was a concussion, did not practice after getting dinged in Friday's practice. Head coach Brian Daboll said that Neal continues to make progress, though. So that's good. Now I have to wind up waiting and see, will he be able to, it's because I think it's like a 5-step process to get cleared for the concussion. So, I don't know if you can do all 5 in like 2 days or in 3 days or something like that, but it's kind of like a little up in the air as far as whether he'll wind up being back like next week to get in on the joint practices, Then it'd be interesting to see, obviously, once the preseason games start, how much the starters play in the preseason games. Since Ben Bredesen continues to get first-team reps at all 3 interior offensive line positions, which is fantastic, which is good. I mean, if got to have that. Want to have that flexibility. Tonight he was at center with Joshua Ezeudu at left guard and Glowinski at right guard. Matt Parrott got the nod at right tackle with Evan Neal, obviously in the concussion protocol. Parrott has come on. This is what Patty says. Parrott has come on the last few days, moving ahead, because she was seeming to think that what she said about a week or so ago, she seemed to think that Tyree Phillips had the lead, shall we say, in the swing tackle department. Swing your tackle, do-si-do. So, but what she's writing here, Pat has come on. Pat Trainer, I'm going to talk. Parrott has come on the last few days, moving ahead, and then she puts in parentheses, or it seems, of Tyree Phillips. The one-time third-round draft pick has had his ups and downs. Obviously, he had the injury, so he missed some time last year as well. But the thing is that, that's where I got to move my feet without trying to kick Randy. There we go. All right, we're good. But, it's kind of like the Ezeudu kind of thing, right? Because we drafted Ezeudu in the 3rd round last year. So, when you draft, obviously a guard in the 3rd round, you have visions of hopefully him being a starter. Well, the same thing with Parrott. He was not number 99, pick number 99. So you got 2 tackles in the top 100, right, in the same draft. So, but then again, that was with Gettleman, right? And there was the Gettleman and the Judge era, right? So those were their picks. So, obviously what they were envisioning, or maybe Gettleman was, it may not be what Shane's envisioning. But obviously, when you take a tackle in the third round, kind of open, maybe, he might become some type of a starter, right? Really hasn't been too much of the case for Parrott so far, but the coaches are giving him a long look to see if he can be part of things moving forward. And this is a huge year for him, because it's his final season. There ain't no fifth-year option for a third-round selection. So, I mean, he's got to, you don't want to say put up or shut up, because, I mean, if the Giants let him go, he's still young. He's got the height and all of that and everything. I'm sure somebody will wind up picking him up without question. So it's not, it's just a matter of whether he winds up staying with the Giants or not. So, but it's nice to see at least they'll have a chance. He's healthy. So hopefully, he's going to get in on all three of those preseason games, plus the joint practices with the Detroit Lions. So, all you can ask for is, can I have a shot? Can you give me a shot? And, so that's what he's going to wind up having. So that's good. Daboll said, Matt has done a good job this camp. We have moved him around. You'll see him in there with the ones today at right tackle. Maybe the whole practice. Maybe we'll sub in some other guys. We will see how practice goes. But he's done a good job for us up to this point. But, I mean, that's the generic question. I mean, for the most part. I mean, you're not going to hear Daboll say, no, he's really stunk up the joint. Yeah, I'm not. I don't even know why he's even on the team. I mean, he'll probably be the first one we put on the line to get cut. Yeah, I mean, so you're not going to hear that. Defensive lineman Leonard Williams returned to practice after a couple rest days, so that's good. Azeez Ojulari got another rest day. If you want to give the guy the rest of the training, go ahead, man. If you can get him, healthy for kickoff against the Cowboys, I'm all for it. So good, Daboll was asked to explain the logic behind giving guys 2 days off. And this is what he said. I think it just depends on what it is you are resting for the player. He said, I meet with those medical guys daily, come up with a plan for each individual player. In this case, it will be another day for Ojulari. So it will be a day off tomorrow, and then we'll get ready for back on Monday. So, I mean, basically, so Azeez is going to have like 3 days off in a row. So Jack Anderson, Shepard, and Hottie, okay, we're all back practicing, which is cool, all right? Shepard remains on a managed schedule, though, which is understandable, coming back from the major surgery that he had. And then Daboll said defensive lineman Ryder Anderson with his triceps will be out probably a few weeks. So we got, what do we got? So tomorrow will be 5 weeks. Tomorrow in about an hour. It'll be Sunday. So in here in New Jersey. So there'll be 5 weeks until we kick off against the Cowboys. So hopefully Ryder Anderson will be back in a few weeks, which might wind up being, if it pans out, might be after the preseason games are over. So we'll have to wait and see. Evaluating the injured, with some guys not being able to practice yet or much at all. I asked Daboll how they do their evaluations, especially since they're before we know it. Roster decisions will need to be made. Yep. And he said, well, you're just evaluating them on the things that they can do. So that's really the retention in the meeting room, but ultimately it's their performance on the field. Executing under pressure, doing the things when you have to do them in a quick manner. He said before adding, it's a little bit harder than if they were out there practicing. Yeah, obviously. Oh, yeah. This one's funny. I heard Matt Parrott when he was talking. He said, because Matt Parrott, somebody was asking him about Bobby Johnson, right? And he called him, oh, yeah, OG. Yeah, OG. Yeah, he's done a real good job with me. Blah, 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 blah. And I was listening to it on my phone, and I'm like, OG, I mean, who the heck is OG? I was saying to myself, and I actually, I was kind of stupid enough. I went back on my phone and I Googled Bobby Johnson. I'm like, maybe Johnson starts with a G, because sometimes, like, my name's Jeff, but some people, their name is Jeffrey. It starts with a G. Jeffrey, so it has a J sound to it. So I'm like, oh, G. So maybe Johnson starts with a G. So I typed it in there. Like, no, it starts with a J. So I'm thinking to myself as I'm listening to this, who is OG? So one of the girls asked him, and she said, "Who's OG?" And he said, "Oh, that's Bobby Johnson, OG, we call him." And she said, "Oh, okay, all right." So then another guy came in and asked a question. He said, "What does old OG stand for?" He said, the guy who's talking, I forgot who it was. It wasn't like Jordan Renan or not like that. I can't remember who the reporter was. But the reporter's like, in my generation, OG stands for old guy. And that's Bobby. Well, he's old compared to Matt Parrott. He's not real old, but middle age, But so the reporter's like, in my generation, OG stands for old guy. And and Matt Parrott's like, no, my generation, OG stands for old time gangster. So apparently they I guess they nicknamed Bobby Johnson original gangster. Original gangster. That's what OG stands for. So when you hear anybody referring to OG, that's original gangster. So GO, it is a GO, and there's an OG. When Daboll says GO, right, it's Javarius Owens. When an offensive lineman goes OG, it's original gangster, meaning Bobby Johnson. Right. So you got to keep your O's and your G's in perspective there. Right. Observations he has. One of my favorite one-on-one battles at camp has been with left tackle, obviously, Andrew Thomas, and outside linebacker, Kayvon Thibodeaux. I truly believe Thibodeaux is the only player on his defense that makes it challenging for Thomas. Thibodeaux seems to have improved his initial punch and initially caught Thomas off guard, but the tackle quickly recovered and shut him down. Then on the following matchup, Thomas perhaps ticked that Thibodeaux almost got the better of him on the first rep. Maybe Thomas perhaps was maybe a little ticked off, maybe that Thibodeaux almost got the better of him on the first rep. But so on the second rep, he put the defender on his butt with seemingly no effort. So Thomas has also won his reps against Oshane Ximines, who worked with the ones with Azeez Ojulari getting a night off. Eric Gray worked primarily as a kickoff returner. Brian Daboll blew a gasket a couple times again. Imagine that. But, he blows his gasket to try to get his point across. And then it's probably it's like, we forget about it. And we just move on, right? So it said Daboll blew a couple gaskets, resulting in a string of NSFW language. So one such outburst, which is a little interesting here, came when offensive coordinator Mike Kafka was late getting a play call for a team drill. So, but you got to understand, you're here to learn and this and that and situational, so you only got so much time. It's not like they can stand out there for 9 hours in practice, right? They only have so much time. So every time a minute goes by and they blow something because they can't get a effing play in, that's time lost. Every second out there is extremely, extremely valuable. And, I can see where Daboll's coming from. They got a long way to go, right? All these other teams are out there, obviously trying their best to make themselves better. And the Giants are out here. Everybody only has the same amount of time. If you're out there screwing around, you're losing valuable time. So it's, when you're out there, it can be a little fun and games sometimes at times. But, when you're only out there for an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it is, you got to be on your P's and Q's. Very, very important. Because the P's and Q's now translate to the game, right? So, you got the sense of urgency, what we got to do. We got to hustle. We got to get up to the line of scrimmage, but whatever. That translates over into the game. And this is, I seen somebody, I forgot who it was, said Daniel Jones was like 20 out of 24 throwing the ball. So today, or tonight, shall I say. Then also Patty says Daniel Jones is playing with some swag these days. It's crystal clear that he's completely comfortable in this offense as he's making quick decisions and smart ones. His ball placement has been mostly outstanding. Jones put it where only his receivers can get it. And he's been far more patient in letting things develop rather than holding onto the ball too long or just taking off with it. Another practice, another gorgeous deep strike from Daniel Jones to Jalen Hyatt. And she put, seriously, folks, get used to this because it's been quite a while since the Giants have had a quarterback playing with this kind of confidence and a receiver who has made splitting coverage look so effortlessly. I mean, it's, you can almost go back to like the 2014, whatever, with Eli Manning and Odell Beckham Jr. One of them here, they have, it looks like Hyatt starting out in the slot. Yeah, he's in the slot. So he runs about 5, 10, 15, whatever. And then he starts cutting to the flag. So I don't know. Where do they start out at here? Let's see here. Can I figure this out? 20. Okay. They started out around the 30-yard line. So he runs down from the 30 there around the maybe 10 yards or so. He runs down to like the 20 and starts cutting toward the flag, right? Or the corner of the end zone or whatever, right? He's got a Monty Oruwariye trying. I'll say this, trying to cover him. And let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like if you ever saw the Saquon one, where Okereke was trying to cover Saquon, and he puts a move on. He goes to the outside, and Okereke goes with him, and then Saquon, plants his foot and takes off down the field, and all of a sudden, in the frame, Okereke just disappears, and it's kind of like, where's the coverage at? And it's when Saquon's running down the sideline, the ball gets thrown behind him, and Saquon just like sticks his hand back there, catches it one hand, pulls it in, runs in for a touchdown. It was like all of a sudden, Okereke was in the frame of the video, and all of a sudden he just disappeared. Well, it's kind of the same thing here. You can see Oruwariye is kind of, he's probably about 2 yards away from Hyatt. By the time Hyatt gets into the end zone, Daniel Jones just lays it up right by the sideline there. Hyatt catches it probably maybe about 2 yards from the out of bounds, gets both feet in. When you look at the film, I mean the video, Oruwariye is not even in there. I mean, it's just so it's exciting. It's exciting. It's it's hopefully this Jones finally is as far as at this. Well, yeah, that's huge, absolutely. But it's so exciting because what you could possibly hopefully see, hopefully is going to happen because it just keeps happening over. It makes you scratch your head. It's over, and I mean, once again, this is practice. That's all. Hyatt hasn't caught 300 touchdown passes yet. He's not in the hall. I mean, we haven't even played a snap of regular football. So you just got to also try to keep stuff in perspective, right? Just try to, But I mean, it's almost kind of comical because it's like the defense knows how fast he is. And they know when he starts running down the field at them and they're in front of him, and they can't let him get by him. And he gets by him. It's almost funny because, I mean, he's like running deep patterns and they got the safeties back there, like, and they're trying to backpedal and turn around and keep ahead of them or what, and they can't do it. I mean, then you look at this one right here, this one with Oruwariye. He's in the slot, runs down and cuts out, and he just he leaves the cornerback in the dust. It's almost comical, really is. Do you think Daboll's goal is to have the offense resemble KC more than Buffalo? Well, I mean, the one thing is that with we see with Buffalo, right? They don't obviously they don't run the ball. Well, actually, Buffalo and Kansas City don't run the ball a lot either. So so we got Saquon back there. We got a far better running back than any of them. So we have to keep Saquon in the mix without question, right? Yeah, I mean, you got to, whether you put him out wide or not, but it's also good having him in the backfield because having, I mean, then you get these weapons on the outside, right? And then you got Saquon in the, because for the most part, if you put Saquon out wide, probably for the most part, he's not going to run the ball, right? But if you get him in the backfield, then it's like, damn, are they going to run the ball, or are they going to throw it to Waller, who's in the slot over here? Are they going to throw deep to Jalen Hyatt, who's over there, or maybe, or Waller's out wide over here, right? Hyatt's wide over here. Saquon's in the backfield that maybe got Bellinger in line, right? But then are they going to throw it to Paris Campbell in the slot? What the hell's going on? What? Oh man, woo, we might be in trouble here, guy. But in Kansas City, right? Their main target, right? And to your point is the tight end, right? Kelsey, right? So I mean, obviously because Hill's not there no more, right? Let's see, Buffalo. With Buffalo, it's Diggs, right? I mean, Buffalo, they don't throw hardly. I mean, Dawson Knox. I mean, he got some touchdown, but he's not like a main contributor. I mean, they're more like it's almost kind of like just like Allen gets the ball, drops back to pass, right? He either guns something in there or he just takes off. So, I mean, at the end of the game, it's like Josh Allen might have 12 carries where the running back might only have 10, and then he throws the ball. As I said, so they try to do more, with the wide receivers because they got Diggs and obviously with Kelsey with the Kansas City, so it's certainly could obviously easily be a combination. But I mean, don't forget, because I mean, Kansas City, they don't value the running back quite as much, and Buffalo they don't value, So, but we got Saquon back there, you definitely, because I mean, he can take it to the house. I mean, he did against the Vikings a couple times, so we got to keep him involved too. So it's certainly be some kind of a mixture. West Coast passing concept with a zone blocking power. Yeah. Like a bar. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go over I seen an article with the redraft of the 2018 draft. I'm going to talk about Lamar Jackson there, but I have my own, what I still would have done anyway. Which would make, our offensive line, if you think about it, just kind of blow your mind. Actually, if they drafted Jackson, that would kind of blow your mind. But that I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Let's see what we got. Excellent effort by Sterling Shepard to come up with a sliding reception of Tyrod Taylor pass. Daniel Bellinger had a nice practice making a diving pass on a ball thrown by Jones. Don't sleep on Bellinger, which is true. Obviously, he will also play a role in the passing game this year. Absolutely. Bryce Ford Wheaton, made a nice diving catch of a Tyrod Taylor pass. Ford Wheaton had some earlier drop issues, but has looked solid in the past 2 practices. That was one of his issues, dropsies. Now, that's something you can certainly work on, his God-given speed, his height, this, that, that's God-given. Ain't nothing you can, you know what I mean? But, at least you can work on the drops. That you can work on. Some of it's just, concentration, focusing, right? So then, of course, then it says, what's next? The Giants have Sunday off and will have a short, non-padded practice on Monday at their team facility, because then they got to get ready to head out to Detroit for the joint practices on Tuesday and Wednesday with the Lions ahead of next Friday's preseason. So it looks like, what are we going to have, right? We're off Sunday. Right, short practice on Monday, head out to Detroit. So joint practices, I guess, Tuesday, Wednesday, off Thursday, and a preseason against the Lions on Friday. Friday, 7:00. So I'm probably going to try to go, if I can, try to maybe go live next week, if it's on, because I'm down here in South Jersey. You know what I mean? If I was up in North Jersey or something like that, Teddy's in the house. If I was up in North Jersey and maybe the Giants channel was up there or something, and the Giants preseason game was on, for sure, I definitely would go live. But I got to be careful, because sometimes down here, I'm down in Philly land. They don't they don't very often broadcast the Giant games too much. I mean, so unless the NFL Network has them, that could be a game coming on live, which is possible. So I have to check and see. Same tight ends from last Raiders playoff game, main event all year in New York. You got that right, brother. Yeah, Giants are on NBC. Yeah, so I mean, so if I was up there, North Jersey, New York, if I lived in Wisconsin where I grew up at in Long Island, oh yeah, it'd be no brainer. I'd be going live. But I said down here, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to have it or not. I'll have to check the NFL Network as we go along. But so then we had we had Ryder Anderson, right? He got that. All right. So then we had the Giants select quarterback Lamar Jackson in ESPN's 2018 redraft. Now, I mean, in a way, you can certainly see this, right? But of course, that means now we wouldn't have Saquon now. But I said in one of the most controversial draft picks in franchise history, the Giants selected running back Saquon Barkley second overall. But the thing is that, at the time, Saquon was worthy of a first-round selection. My guy, which I still would take over I hate to say it, even over Saquon, would be Quentin Nelson, right? I mean, could you imagine if we had Andrew Thomas, Quentin Nelson, Michael Schmitz, and Evan Neal? Could you imagine those four guys? I mean, could you imagine Quentin Nelson? I mean, he did get run over by Sexy Dexy last year, right? But a lot of guys did. But I mean, as good as Quentin Nelson's been, could you imagine if we had him next to Andrew Thomas? Man, I mean, because Nelson's only been 5 years. This is only be 6 years. It's not like he's a 10, 11-year veteran or something like that. So he's been a very solid pick. I mean, I think he had some struggles last year. But, I mean, for the most part, in his first year, he was a very solid pick. I mean, could you imagine him having him at guard next to Andrew Thomas? Woo, baby. Of course, once again, we would not have Saquon, right? But in this article here, Barkley got off to a stellar start with Big Blue, earning Offensive Rookie of the Year. However, immediately after that, Barkley was hit with the injury bug. But, I mean, they're right. Yeah, he was hit with the injury bug, but I'm gonna counterpoint that in just a minute here, right? So, he was hit with the injury, but yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. Who wrote this? Who is this? Giants Wire. Who wrote this here? Tyler Henry. Yeah, he was hit with the injury bug. Yep. Yes, you're absolutely right. To this day, the debate continues over taking a running back as high as the Giants took Barkley. ESPN recently released a redraft of the 2018 draft, and instead taking Barkley, the Giants selected quarterback Lamar Jackson, who the Ravens had to trade up for the pick number 32 with the Eagles. Okay. I mean, nobody took Jackson in the first. He was going to probably get taken in the second round because nobody thought, right? I mean, hindsight's always 2020. Oh, yeah, I definitely would have took, it's like, instead of, in the 55 draft or 55 or 56. Yeah, I'd take Bart Starr in the first round. I wouldn't let him go to the 15th round, or in the 1953 draft. I'd take Roosevelt Brown in the first round instead of waiting to the 27th round to take him like the Giants did. I mean, hindsight's always 2020. Yeah. But anyway, a debate raged before the 2018 draft about whether the Giants should draft a quarterback. Ultimately, they did not, opting to take Barkley to boost their offense. But I made whoever this guy was, I made the easy choice to instead take the 2019 unanimous NFL MVP in Jackson, who was at the time was slated for at least second round, right? He's the most electric quarterback in the game. He leads the league in quarterback rushing yards since 2018, and he would have an unstoppable and current coach Brian Daboll's offense. Oh, sorry, buddy. I moved my leg. All right, buddy. I'm sorry, pal. I woke him up. But the thing is, this is point counterpoint. This guy's talking about Barkley being hurt. Okay, all right. Well, let's look at Lamar Jackson. How's he done? How's he done the past 2 seasons, right? Oh, look at that. 2021, he missed 5 games. 2022, he missed 5 games. So 2020, he missed a game. 2019, he missed a game. So he's got injuries too. Okay. And the problem is that, what happened to Daniel Jones? Why did he miss some time? Right. Remember he slid against, what we got? Cincinnati Daniel Jones slid, tried to slide. He took off with a scramble, slid, pulled his hamstring. He got hurt. What? Doing what? Running. Then how did he get a concussion against the Cowboys? Or he got his head slammed on the ground, going around the end, trying to plow his way into the end zone. The guy stopped him, slammed his head on came out wobbling all and everything. So he's got hurt. How did he do that? Running, right? How Lamar Jackson getting hurt? Probably running. Quarterbacks are, and I get it. It's exciting and all that stuff. I get it. That's cool. Yeah, that puts people's rear ends in the seats to see Lamar Jackson. I get it, right? But the problem is now we're playing what are we up to 800 games we're playing in the season, right? The problem is that every time you got dice in your hands, every time Lamar runs, right? Okay, nope, we didn't crap out this time. All right, Lamar, run again, baby. Oh, nope, we didn't crap. Somewhere along the line, he's going to twist an ankle. Somebody's going to hit a knee. This, he's going to get hurt. I mean, you run 100, 200 times your quarterback. You're not, Earl Campbell. You're not Jim Brown, but you're going to get hurt. Josh Allen keeps running. Well, that's all great and fine and fancy. He tries to run people over, but that's all great. But guess what? You're hurting your career, right? Every time Lamar Jackson takes off and runs, that's great and all, but you're chancing it where he's going to get hurt, and you can get nicked up or this or that or right. I mean, maybe you get a little injury to your ankle. Or maybe somebody hits your knee or something. So maybe so you're not a full Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. There you go. Right. Okay. Patrick Mahomes kind of limping around or whatever, but Patrick Mahomes can limp around and throw a football. Can you, if you need be, if you have to? Okay. The luck you got to run as a quarterback, to stand in the pocket, throw 300-400 passes, get hit, this, that, and the other thing, then to take off another couple hundred times in a season and have nothing happen to you. You know how lucky you got to be? You got to be, you might as well just go down to Atlantic City and put it all on red or something. You're lucky. Okay. Sooner or later, something's going to happen to you. There's a good chance something's going to happen to you, like it did the past couple of years with Lamar Jackson. So if you're a little dinged up, you're a little something aggravated, a knee, something, whatever, and it's maybe a little tough to take off, and just fly down the field like can you stand in the pocket if you're banged up, right? And lead your team down the field, just start gunning it in there, touch this pass, little that. Can you do that? I'm happy with Daniel Jones, because I think Daniel Jones is a better thrower than Lamar Jackson is. Lamar Jackson is certainly more, electric and this, that, and the other thing. But, as far as throwing the ball, I'll take Daniel Jones. I mean, you can easily say, let's take Lamar Jackson, of course. But I'll take Daniel Jones. The problem is that, of course, if we redrafted, I said we wouldn't have Saquon Barkley. But, I would have took Quentin Nelson. I said, man, the offensive line we would have right now, whoo, man. I don't even want to even see any of the Eagle players getting hurt, and that hurts for me to say that, But you don't want anybody getting hurt. But how lucky you got to be to play a whole season without getting banged up and just taking off all. And that's why sometimes I even kind of cringe when Daniel Jones takes off sometimes. Like that one time, who the heck threw the ball? I can't throw the. Was it against Carolina? It was a couple years ago. Daniel Jones, he ran out for a pattern. Who the heck threw the ball to him? He threw it up high, left Daniel Jones hanging out. Daniel Jones got to jump up with one hand, right? Got it, came down with it. As soon as he came down with it, the defender almost took his head off. I was surprised he even got up. When you got your prize quarterback, you got to, really need to protect him. I mean, it's the same thing almost like with Jalen Hurts. I mean, good quarterback, good talent, this, that, and the other thing. But, a lot of their running game revolves around him, you're cutting your career short, by just trying to run. And I said, now we're playing 17 games. It's, that's a long time. That's a lot of football games. That's a lot of times you're going to get hit. And for you to play 17 games and, to make it to the end of the season without getting injured, you're pretty lucky. So, but so they would have, the guy said he would have took Lamar Jackson. I still would take Quentin Nelson over Saquon, because you can make it without Saquon. But I'm saying, could you imagine the offensive line we'd have right now? Oof, man, if we had Quentin Nelson, we would just need one guard to fill in the other spot. We would be good to go. All right, so then we got, somebody brought up about Daboll. Daboll's like, well, because you want competition out here, right? So Daboll's like, yeah, well, all the jobs are open, all the jobs are in play, all the job, there's competition at every spot, so every job is open. There's not one, according to what he said, anyway, there's not one position, that's taken, except he said except for one, which winds up being Andrew Thomas. Says New York Giants head coach Brian Daboll is a stickler for having competition in training camp, especially among the younger, less experienced players. Daboll doesn't believe in handing players jobs based on their annual salary or draft position. They've got to earn it on the field. And then he says, I think we try to challenge all of our players, he said last week. We are jumping right in. It's not like a walk into the pool. We are jumping right into the deep end. And right now, everybody's got to compete it out. And then it says everybody except one, it seems. And then Daboll says, not left tackle, Daboll said with a laugh on Friday. So everybody but, it's what he says, everybody but Andrew Thomas. Now, it's hard to imagine, what we say. If Saquon's on the field, if Saquon's on the team, as long as Saquon signed up and showed up and all of that, signed a contract and whatnot, Saquon, I mean, there ain't nobody, I mean, who we BSing there? There ain't nobody beating Saquon out. Darren Waller, unless we're trying to go jumbo or something like that, you might want to put Bellinger in there, maybe a little bit better of a blocker. He's got the 35-inch biceps and all that. He may put another tackle in there if we're trying to go jumbo. Maybe you might want to take Waller out. But as far as just up and down the field, if Waller's healthy, Waller's the tight end. Sexy Dexy is the wherever you're going to put Sexy Dexy on the defensive front, over the center by the guards, whatever. He's the man. You know what I'm saying? So there are certain positions that are pretty much locked up, but obviously, of course, you can say whatever you want. Everything's up for grabs. All the jobs are in play. I mean, none of the edge rushers that ain't happening. You got Kayvon, you got Azeez. If those guys are healthy, guess what? Those are guys that ain't no Tolman Fox or Baldonado or Hottie Ward going to beat those guys out, right? Sorry about that. So there are certain positions, certain jobs that are that are pretty much locked up. But it was kind of funny that he did say left tackle's not, no. But it's nice to see the Giants at least have, there are a few, we have starting to accumulate players on the team that, are pretty much locked up players, that there's no competition for them. So that's really, really good to see. But so we're off tomorrow. And then we got, I guess, probably padless practice, I'm guessing, on Monday, because they're going to be going Tuesday and Wednesday. They're going to be going against the Lions, and they'll be off on Thursday. And of course, the preseason game usually have pads on. So that pretty much wraps up the 9 days here. I think if I remember correctly, I don't think there's anything else open to the public for the rest of the season. So we'll have to rely on, I guess Jordan Renan and Patty Trainer and all of that for coming up with, our eyes and ears for what's going on in the training camp. But the one nice thing is that, although, Ryder Anderson, is expected to be out a few weeks. It's not long term. It's not, he certainly should be back before the beginning of the season, week 1. So that's good. And we went through a padded practice and I didn't hear of anybody getting injured. So that's good news there. So you figure after the first 2 weeks or whatever, first 9, all in all, things not too bad. We lost Hassenauer for the season. Of course, we had to waive Jeff Smith and all that. But, for the most part, Evan Neal got the concussion. But for the most part, a lot of the big-time players that we got through 9 practices. Some of them were padded, some of them weren't. But we got a lot of the guys. We got through 9 practices so far and somewhat injury-free. So that's good news. That's good news. I don't think we were this lucky last year. So that pretty much wraps up. So I'll probably be off tomorrow. I mean, unless something pops up. The only thing, unfortunately, on a day off, if something pops up, it may not be good news. You know what I mean? So I'll probably be off tomorrow, but we'll be back again Monday night, right? And we'll go over the practice that they had on Monday, and then we'll start talking about the practices that they're going to have against the Detroit Lions. So Teddy, Jersey guys. All right, guys. Good talking to you. You guys have a great night. Thanks for sharing some time with me. I greatly appreciate it. So whoever spent any time watching me, thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching the replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!